Welcome to WTAN Tan Talk. I'm Gregor the Barbarian, here with Aaron Biscuit. Cheryl Caretaker, we're sitting on the front porch, got a cold drink in my hand, got the fire pit lit, and it's all groovy with Robbie the Shark.
All right, well, before we get to Robbie the Shark, yes, this is a familiar voice. It's Matt the producer filling in for Ed tonight on the show. We will get to Robin and Cheryl in a second, don't worry, before I light the fire pit. Today is a sad day in the world of professional wrestling. It is an anniversary that most of us wrestling fans, and I told Robbie I was going to do this before the show. It is an anniversary that most wrestling fans don't like to talk about, or it's very tough to talk about. It was 25 years ago today that Owen Hart fell to his death on live pay-per-view at the Over the Edge pay-per-view on May 23rd, 1999 in Kansas City. Wow. So it's been 25 years since we lost Owen Hart at a live pay-per-view at a WWE show. So
that should get Les White's attention up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but we just thought we would talk. We'd get into that, and tonight, sorry, wrong thing. Right now, the fire pit is lit. It's all groovy, baby.
It's
Robbie,
all
Cheryl,
groovy.
Good to see you guys again.
Hey, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Missed you.
Hey, I honestly missed myself. No, I'm kidding. I missed you guys, though. I did.
So we did miss you.
And we thought I was a narcissist. Oh, dear God. We missed you big. Aaron was thrilled to let her know. Welcome here again, Aaron. Gregor the Barbarian, of course. Cheryl the Sugar Plum. That's what I'm going to call her.
I got to say, though, I kind of wish it had been, because normally we have the camera, for those of you watching on YouTube, we normally have the camera in the studio on Robbie and Cheryl, but I kind of wish we had the camera in the studio. Like in the waiting room in the lobby of the studio when the two of them walked in, because ever since I left, because I'd taken another position with another company. That's
without saying goodbye.
I thought I had.
No.
All right. Well, I'd taken another position with another company. That's why I haven't been here the last number of months.
No, that's the stand-up news?
No. It's for another network. I took another.
Okay.
Where he's been.
So the reason I haven't been here is because I have taken it. I had another commitment, and it was kind of hard for me to be able to juggle both.
Right.
So I'm filling in tonight for Ed, who's a little under the weather. He should be back next week. But the two of them weren't expecting me to be sitting here.
Oh, no.
Cheryl and Robbie were not expecting me to see.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, the two of them weren't expecting to see me sitting here when they walked in. Cheryl let out a wild screech and almost hugged the stuffing out of me when they realized it was me sitting here this week.
And the FCC would have shut me down for the rest of the evening.
Yes, they would have. With the first two words out of his mouth, which we can't repeat on the radio.
No, we cannot. We could not probably even repeat it on. Well, definitely not YouTube.
You could tell I was extremely happy.
Yes. So good to see you back.
I was shocked when you answered the phone.
I know.
So you didn't get my
Robbie
text.
sent me a text. He sent me a text. He said that May was the executive producer tonight. I never met May, but
Yeah, so I'm like, whoa, Robbie, you're having trouble texting tonight? Who are you, and what have you done with Robbie the Shark? Because this ain't the Robbie I've come to know the time I worked with you.
We've been working on him.
I thought May was a new producer.
That's cracks me because I sent the same message to Aaron, and I was like, I looked at him like, what, May? It's Matt. It's not May. Because she didn't respond. I knew for sure she'd respond right away, and she didn't.
Yeah, but at the same time, Robbie, technically you're not wrong. We are in the month of May.
This is
It is May 23rd. That's what it shows.
Yes.
Yep. And by the way, happy Memorial. It is Memorial Day weekend this weekend, so
yes,
you're not entirely wrong. May is the month we're in. Just May's not producing. It's Matt. I'm back in the saddle again for 1 week. Pun very much intended.
And we're happy as can be.
There you go. By the way, back in the saddle again. I'm testing in music trivia. Who sings it?
What's that?
The song "Back in the Saddle Again."
Back in the saddle again.
Who is it? This question also goes to Gregor and Aaron Biscuits if they know it.
Saddle again. I don't know.
No, it's not Steppenwolf. I heard you. It's not Steppenwolf. Aaron and Gregor, do you guys have a guess?
Back in the saddle again. I'm gonna look it up.
You don't have to look it up.
All right, tell me.
It's some long-haired rocker named Steven Tyler. That's Aerosmith.
Oh, Aerosmith.
Back in the 70s, it's Aerosmith.
I did not know that. I should have known that.
Yes, we all should have known that.
Boys in the
But then
attic.
again, that was the 70s, and we know where
I was
me
waiting.
and Grigor's attention was at that time.
I was waiting for him to play the music so I could hear it.
All right, well, hang on. Then I gotta turn off the fire for just a minute.
Then I would have been able to guess it.
All right, yeah. Hang on. There's a reason why the fire sound disappeared. Turn the fire off for a second. Give me a second, and I'll pull the song up.
Okay.
Groovy.
Cool.
You guys can keep talking.
All right.
No,
I
have something real important to say here when we move on to the next thing here. So before you play the song, let me do this. And I can't say it because they're going to hear it. You'll know what I want you to play once I say what I have to say. In 1998, as Matt let you know, of course, it's Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Month, really, for all of our veterans. Mm-hmm. And back in 1998, I don't know, I was going through the divorce, was upset, and I was stone cold sober, but I wanted to go get tanked. It was Memorial Day. So I go to the south side of Pittsburgh, which everybody knows is like 30 bars in a 2-block district. So you know you're going to get jacked. Well, I walk into the bar, and I told the bartender, the barmaid, I said, barmaid, please do not call the police on me. You will be pleased when it's over, but just trust me. I'd never done this before, and I swear on my father's grave, Jesus told me to do this. So I did.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I ordered 2 beers, and she brings them over to me.
Okay.
So I stand up on the freaking bar.
On the bar. Can you see him on the bar?
I'm going to have nightmares now. Thank you very much.
Okay, a fight is about to happen, right? And the whole bar is screaming at me. And I say, shut up. I demand your attention now. They keep screaming. I say it a second time. I demand your attention at this very second. And the entire bar shut up. And it changes from year to year. I've been doing it since 1998, going from bar to bar doing this. I've even done it on the beach and made the beach shut up. But then I stood up on that bar. And I want to thank you all who have served, those serving and those to follow and serve later. Remember that some gave all, but all gave some.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's all gave some, but some gave all.
Shut up, Matt.
Okay.
You're going to piss me off.
Let's not do that.
Thank to all who have served, those, and I love you, Matt, serving and those to follow. Remember that some gave all, but all gave some. And the reason some gave all first is because that's why we're really celebrating. They went and they turned my saying around, which is recorded to me circa 1998. Robbie the Shark came up with that saying. It's been stolen across the country, but used gratefully, and I love it. I love it. And the last part of it was we all signed the bottom line, which says we are prepared to serve our country up to and including death.
Well, this is going to be hard to top, but the song the song I was talking about before, this is what we were talking about.
I'm sorry for yelling at you, Matt.
That's okay, Robbie. That's fine. But this is the song I was talking about. Hold on. Waiting for the build-up. Here we go. This was the song I was talking about. This is, and I hate talking over this is Aerosmith. There, does that sound familiar now?
Yeah.
There you go.
I saw them live.
Really?
Yes, I did. That was in the 70s, yeah.
All right. So now that we got that out of the way.
Thank you for getting my rant out of the way, but it's been a few years since I've been to the bars or anywhere to do this salute to my fellow servicemen and women. I finally got it out.
And this is the weekend that we pay respects for them for the ultimate sacrifice that they made.
And we thank them for their service.
Correct.
Yes.
And I don't like to say this, but I will say that because I'd have to say at least 60% of the blue is good too, and they deserve. Although my affiliation and fellow Floridians know that beware in Pinellas County, do not mess around anywhere. What's that county east of us there, Matt? Pasco.
Yeah.
What's his name? Grady Judge? Don't jack around here because they will take you down. There's no doubt about it. It's a beautiful place. Be free. But you remember, if you're free with your mouth, I can be free with mine. And let's not hurt each other, yell at each other. Let's just agree to disagree sometimes. And
Absolutely.
maybe we'll find an even ground.
Absolutely.
Wow. I lost all my notes. I don't know what happened.
What did you do with them?
I have no idea. There's stuff somewhere in the bag. That water bottle was leaking before.
And Robbie, I thought after all this time you would know you're supposed to talk into the microphone if anybody wants to hear you
that would
instead
help,
of trailing
wouldn't it?
away.
That would help, wouldn't it? Okay.
Yes, it would.
He's just so happy you're here. He's not
it has
expecting
been
any
such
of
a
this.
wild, weird day. I
Yeah.
lost all my notes.
But is this a
I
wild?
just wrote the weather report and I can't find it.
Yeah.
To save my freaking life.
All right, well,
here. I don't know what
hang
I
on.
did.
Okay.
Oh, I found that part. Okay.
did you?
We
All
got
right.
that for later, but everything else I can go off the top of the head anyways.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Boy.
I got a quick weather report for you. It's Florida. It's May. It's high.
It's melting.
Melting. Actually, you know what?
You beat me to it. I was just thinking that.
Pittsburgh had the same weather as us the past couple of days. They've been up here in the 80s. I think last weekend I talked to
Grigard, Aaron, can we confirm this?
No.
Didn't you have some 80s a couple of days ago?
Yeah, too.
Maybe it's already from last week's show.
Yeah. This week it was kind of hot.
Kind of.
Nice.
I don't know. I've been working too much to pay attention. I'm just sweating.
Well, you were
But
up
I
there
started
in
sweating
the
at
mountains, right?
65.
Come to Florida.
You were up in the mountains hiding, right?
Yeah, over the weekend.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you did get away. And we talked. It didn't quite go your way, but hey, I tell you what, when you lay your head down tonight, pray to Jesus that you ain't Robbie, because what a roller coaster today. Boy,
Yes.
we met one at the store.
Oh, my goodness.
And by the way, before she goes on, it is Major League Baseball Mental Health Awareness Month. Go.
Yes. So I was walking back from the store, ran into someone, and she just approached me.
Wait, you said you ran into somebody. Did it hurt?
No, not that way.
Okay.
Come on.
Matt, I was walking.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can't you see
Damage I
Waddy
can do.
Coyote right now when he said that? You know.
Yeah,
Yes.
I apologize. It was too easy
I
to
was
set up. All
walking.
right, continue.
I was walking. Anyway, so someone comes up to me and says she liked my aura, and we just started talking. Next thing I know, she's out in the middle of the road screaming and yelling at, what was it? A parked car, right?
Well, when I came down,
Yeah,
right,
A parked car. Yes, it was. It was just the wildest thing because she, first of all, anybody that walked into the store that we were at, she read. And what I mean by read, she knew everything about them without them saying a word to her. And she was right about them.
So she's one of those like psychic ladies.
Exactly.
Well,
Okay.
I've known this woman since August when I first moved to this area, Pinellas.
And I just met her.
Right.
She knows me just to talk to me, and she knows I'm on the radio. Excuse me, ask her to call. Of course, she didn't. But she hangs out with a buddy of mine that also works down at the store there. And, she's groovy. She don't know much about me at all. But somehow Cheryl let her use the phone to
Well,
talk
she
to
grabbed
me.
the phone out of my hand. He called me. I answered. She grabbed the phone out of my hand and started
Yeah.
talking to him.
She knows so much about me. Kind of scared me. I'm
Yeah.
not going to mention again, if you've listened to the program in the past, you know what I'm involved with, and I can't stop that. It's worse than the mafia. But she started yelling when I went there to save Cheryl because I couldn't get a hold of her. The girl wouldn't get off the phone. So
I was
I'm figuring, okay, it's a
videotaping her.
3-minute
Yeah.
walk down the street. I'm gonna take a walk and see what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And I yelled at her. I'm like, hey, what's your problem, lady? Man, come on, calm down, talk to me. And she says, don't you see over there? Those are federal agents. And I looked at her and I
Excuse
said,
me?
Yes.
yeah. I said, yes, ma'am. I'm certain they are federal agents over there. And by the way, you know my affiliation. I walked in the store. I didn't speak another word to that woman.
That was my cue to run.
Yeah.
And she did.
So that would explain the trail of dust I saw going down the beach the other day. It was,
Exactly.
it was
That
Cheryl
would be
taking
me.
off. No, I'm pretty sure that was you now that I'm hearing this. That was Cheryl leaving a dust trail.
Exactly. It was just too much, you know? I can
Lady-
handle most. But,
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present this random episode of The Twilight Zone here on It's All Groovy.
and that's exactly what I felt like.
And that was the easy part of the day. I'm going to tell you what, we're not going to go into discussion with that, but promotional and other consideration for the It's All Groovy show brought to you by
Beacon Street Ministries, helping those in need. You can reach them by email at beaconstreetministries@gmail.com. And for more information, you can call them at 727-278-2285. And now it's time for Einstein's beach weather with Chief Meteorologist. Stand up.
Hello, my fellow Floridians. Pinellas to Dade City, Zephyr Hills. Just a great, gorgeous night. 82 degrees, winds out of the west at 8 miles per hour. You're not sweating at all. Actually, you definitely hope you got your doors open and enjoyed the night. The full moon was last night, so it's still out there starting to wane tonight. You're going to enjoy it. Sunrise, 6:37 tomorrow. And 76 degrees, high 87. It's going to stay that way through Memorial Day. And then we do have a front coming through and give us a little bit of the juice to the ground to grow them flowers for us on Tuesday. So I hope everybody enjoys the Memorial Day weekend. And remember, to party hardy, do not mourn those who have passed from Memorial Day. Celebrate that they gave you freedom.
Absolutely.
And to those that are, because this is the unofficial kickstart this summer with Memorial Day weekend.
Mhm.
I encourage everybody, and I'm sure I can speak to the two of you when I say this, and if I don't, cut me off, but if you're going to celebrate this weekend, please celebrate responsibly.
Call a cab.
Oh yeah, I did want to say that before. I had it prepared, and I jump off. I don't go by script.
That's okay. This is why
Thank
it's
you.
all
Yeah,
groovy.
yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
you cover for me. So you take care of this.
That's why we miss
PTSD
it.
We
bipolar vet.
take care of this bowl of fruits here.
Yeah, I can toss the ball off to you. Know you're going to get a couple yards for me.
Just
No
call me
doubt
Jerome
about it.
Bettis. Get on the bus. I'll take you to the end zone.
Yes, he will.
I did want to go to something else earlier planned, but my notes are missing, so I think God doesn't want me to go there.
Okay.
But I do have to say something very distinctly to Matt right now.
Yes.
New York strangers are in danger because the Florida Putty Tats and the guy from what is it there? Bob Rooney? No, it's
Sergey-
Bob Roski.
Yep. Sergei Bobrovsky, the man Russian, made the New York Rangers look like shells of themselves, and that's putting it the PG version.
Mhm.
You know, I watched that whole game, Matt, and I was rooting against the strangers to begin with, but
Well, so am I, but that's for a completely different reason. I hate the Rangers. I'm an Islander fan.
well, I know that. But
Yeah.
it's still New York, and I don't know.
I know there's certain teams.
It's like me rooting for Philadelphia, not happening.
Exactly. Or you rooting, or either Grigor or Aaron rooting for the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Never gonna
Hell
happen.
no. Although, true story,
Yeah.
I may lose my roots as a Pittsburgh to say this, but when I was active duty in the Air Force, the Steelers didn't make it, and the Cleveland Browns, I think they were in an AFC Championship, and my buddy was from Elyria, Ohio, Cleveland,
Yeah.
and I rooted for him, and I was really disappointed that the Bums lost, but they're never going to win.
And just to clarify, this was the first incarnation of the Cleveland Browns, not the current one. Because you got to remember, the Cleveland Browns took off in the middle of the night, became the Indianapolis. It was the Ravens. Sorry,
Yes.
but no.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, okay, we're talking both combined.
Yeah, well, no, we're talking.
The Ravens, once they became the Ravens, they were no longer the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
That was a reason for us to hate them because you took away the Cleveland Browns
hold
from
on.
Pittsburgh. So we needed somebody else to fight against. Okay, you call yourself the Purple
People Eaters?
No, Purple People Eaters.
That's
the
the Vikings, yeah.
But the Edgar Allan Poo-Poos, you know.
All right, so now, the original Cleveland Browns incarnation he's talking about was the one that had Jim Brown on him, the late Jim Brown. Those are the Cleveland Browns you're talking about, not the current ones.
Not the current one. Once they moved to, I am talking about both.
Yeah. But the current
let's give that gap when they were gone from the NFL for a couple of years.
The current
but they still sucked then.
Well, they still suck now. They've had one playoff win. It was Baker Mayfield, the Bucs quarterback, who led them to the playoff win.
She goes down. They go down quicker than my ex-girlfriend.
Which one?
Be nice.
Which one? That's what I want to know. I'm kidding.
I was going to say my ex-wife, but I do still actually love her. She's a wonderful lady. She's turned her life around. But and that's honest truth. I'm not kidding you there. But it's just a joke. If she happens to be listening, I hope she's laughing.
Yeah, but seriously, me rooting for the Rangers would be like you guys rooting for the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs. You can't do that as Steelers fans. I can't do that as an Islander fan.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Philadelphia. Matter of fact, I lost a friend over that. A Floridian with Gino the Gambino when I worked with that crowd. You know what I mean? Gino Gambino. And I told him I was still doing top 3 to beat the bookie on Paul Porter's home team. And we argued. He was fighting with me because he's from Philadelphia. And I said, you're not going to win anything. Oh, he was so ticked at me.
Well, the Eagles have a Super Bowl ring, and they also have the record for being the only football city or sports city in America to eat horse poop in celebration.
Ew, really?
You never heard that story?
No,
I have not.
Yeah, so this was after the Eagles Super Bowl celebration when they beat New England for the title. And Nick Foles became one of only 2 quarterbacks, along with Eli Manning, to beat Tom Brady for a Super Bowl. Supposedly, according to reports, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard different stories and rumors over the years since then. But while Eagles fans were celebrating in the streets of Philadelphia, so you know how they have the horse-mounted police officers that they use for certain events?
Right.
One of the horses in Philly took a dump, and somebody actually walked up, grabbed the horse poop, and ate it.
Ew. I've heard of animals doing that, like dogs. I've seen dogs, but
that's because dogs are missing in nutrition. That's why they do that.
Yeah, but no, I've actually heard somebody in Philly did that after the Eagles Super Bowl when they actually ate poop from the police horses.
Ew.
I tell you what, they are the worst fans. I was at a game with my father, Jimbo, years ago, and that's why, by the way, I lovingly call the Ray star on the Ray uniform the mustard stain, because I did this at this very game.
Okay.
I stepped on a pack of mustard. Now, I'm with my father, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old, sitting right behind the goal line, second level, beautiful seats. Jimbo took me, gone to town. I don't get no beer or nothing, because I'm too young. But hey, I'm grooving. I'm enjoying my hot dog. And a mustard packet was on the ground, and I went stomped. And he had brand new shoes, and it went right across
not mustard.
His
Mustard is one of the hardest things to get out.
Oh, he wanted to kill me. And this was the first quarter, so now I got to sit next to this guy for the whole 4 hours.
Well, thankfully, he didn't kill you.
No, but what took care of it was this. At halftime, Philadelphia was so ticked, and the opposing team, that end of the field is where they went into
the locker room.
Yeah, locker room. And Bill Berge, there was somebody. Remember Bill Berge?
I've heard stories about Berge. Yes.
I mean, he said cuss words I think I don't even know, and I've been swearing since I was 1, and I'm 61. And he started climbing the wall to fight a fan. They had to drag him down security.
I'm not surprised.
Jimbo completely forgot about the mustard stain, but I never did. And that reminds me of that story every time I see the Rays uniform, and I love my Rays. I really do.
Raise up. You know what time it is?
I lost that.
Break time.
No, you don't. You didn't lose.
Well, hold on a second, Robbie. This is how you know that this conversation has sparked something, because we have on the phone line Earl the Pearl from Sarasota, and he says he wants to talk to you about something related to AB. So, Earl, go ahead.
Earl, go right ahead, brother.
Hi, Earl.
AB, he's broke. He's broke. He's broke and he's woke.
He's woke.
Who's woke?
AB.
AB,
You're talking to Antonio Brown, the ex-wide receiver, right?
yeah.
Oh, he's a bum. AB, he's washed up. He's just trying to do anything he can to put another buck in his pocket. The guy was great.
The whole NFL is woke.
Well, the
I'm
NFL.
calling.
Okay, so you're pushing me. You know me. I don't know who you are, but you know me, and you know exactly what I'm going to say. And you are absolutely right, and I can't wait. I am not going to give you winners this year on top 3 to beat the bookie because it is the DFNFL. DraftKings, FanDuel, NFL partnership. Look it up. They are not a sports broadcasting program. They are an entertainment programming only, just like the WWE and Les White and Mr. Devon favorite heroes, the Wrestling Federation, where they can decide what the outcome is.
And you
wanted to just spark me.
And for the record, you have a wrestling fan sitting on the other side of the board here.
Well,
That'd be me.
I don't have to look at you.
Yes, well, technically you kind of do. At least for this week, you kind of do.
I met Dusty
Well,
Rhodes.
You bet Dusty Rhodes?
I met
It's not-
Dusty Rhodes, yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, I did.
But-
Tampa.
Really?
I think what the caller was trying to say is Antonio Brown is broke. He filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, I thought he said woke.
I thought he said woke
he said,
too.
well, no, he said Antonio Brown is broke and woke.
Oh.
That's what he said.
He's
Broke and
broke.
woke.
Broke
Broke
and
and
woke.
woke.
Get woke and go broke.
Pretty much, yeah. And that, me personally, that's why I avoid doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time talking right now because I was just in Jamaica and I was eating this Jamaican jerk chicken
Yeah.
and it was having target practice on my back door and I dropped my phone in the shitter.
That's never a good thing.
Hey,
And because of that, I had to get rid of him.
would he hang up?
No, I had to get rid of him. He said a certain word. He said a certain word we can't repeat on the radio.
Oh.
Who, my
So
last caller?
sorry.
Yeah,
Bummer, because he sounded like a really fun, entertaining guy to
yeah.
sit on Robbie's
Yeah.
porch.
So
Robbie's,
all we ask is anybody that calls into the radio show and wants to sit in Robbie's porch and hang out, we have no problem allowing you to do that. We just ask that you watch the language on this show. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all we ask. Keep this.
Because Matt will have to put you in the penalty box.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does it to us all.
And
Yes, I
it's
do.
a 5-minute major in a game misconduct. Okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There's certain infractions I've given Robbie 2-minute minors
Yes.
before on this show as well. But if
Yes.
you do something like that, that's a game misconduct. You're out.
And
Yep.
FCC and YouTube already hate me. That's
Yep.
why
Yeah.
I love
So-
me.
They don't
Oh,
mess around.
We are a very PG friendly radio show.
Yes, we are.
So we try to keep that as PG as possible. That's all we ask you. So with that being said, I think it is time for Robbie to do his thing.
Take
Right.
his medication.
Yep, it's medication time for Robbie. All right.
All right.
So while Robbie is taking his medication break, we'll keep this on going for a few minutes. Because Cheryl, I
Absolutely.
know there's something you wanted to talk about.
I do want to talk about something.
All right.
Amendment 3. I wanted
right.
to see what
Now, I am not 100% sure what it is. So would you kindly enlighten me,
the
oh wise one?
legalization of marijuana for recreational use.
All right. And yes, we're going to keep this on going in the background for now during
Absolutely.
Robbie's medication break.
Because that's something that is coming up that a lot of us aren't aware of. I'm
Right.
for it.
Okay.
I think it's better. I deal with a lot of seniors that are on all this medication, and I don't think they should be on all this when you can smoke marijuana or however you take it,
Yeah.
and it acts like a painkiller or something. It's not addictive.
Well,
it's just
I know people that don't act. Well, I know people that do actively smoke it, but I
Mhm.
also know people that have marijuana infused like edibles, cookies,
Exactly.
and
exactly.
I have a friend of mine here. I'm not going to obviously say his name, but my buddy of mine here uses it to help him sleep and
Yes.
relax at night.
Yes,
And-
it does many things,
And truth
but
be told,
it's a
my-
natural. It's a natural plant.
Right.
So
No,
Go
go ahead, Grigor.
I've been against it since the 70s. They started chanting legalize it. And not because I'm against people using it. I'm against the government getting involved in it. They will screw it up.
okay, how so?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing.
How
Grigor.
so?
Yeah.
Well, taxes. They'll be regulating the potency of it. You're going to get garbage. You're going to have to go to the street if you want some good bud.
Well, I do have to say, I mean, Robbie does as far as, for PTSD. I mean, it cures a lot of things.
Right.
So.
Oh, I'm totally for it. I think anybody who wants to use it should use it. I'm against the government getting involved because they screw everything up. Everything they touch turns to poop.
Right. Well, but I like the part about, what recreational, doesn't that mean that you could grow it as well? So you would be in control of what you smoke, correct?
Yeah. That's as far as I understand it.
So
if they allow you to produce your own, that's different. But that's not going to happen because they can't make any money if you produce your own. And it's all about the money.
Well, of course, it always is about the money.
It always is. That's the biggest problem.
But I was hoping my friend Crystal would call in because she knows. She actually read it and said something.
Okay.
My friend Crystal, I wanted her to call in because she actually read the bill and she said there's other things attached to this bill.
Well, Crystal, if you can hear us, and Crystal, if you're listening to the show, please call in 727-441-3000. That's the phone number to call again. 727-441-3000. Crystal, if you're calling, we'll put you right through as soon as you call us. But if you want to get your takes on this, and Aaron, if you're still on the phone line, you can give your 2 cents too.
I mean, I'm all for it. My grandmother had lung cancer, and she had a lot of issues with her back, and she was just in pain all the time.
See,
miserable,
and
she would not take it, and I'm like, why?
That's
like,
I'm totally for it. My only objection is the government.
Right, and I get that. I mean, I understand that, but if we could grow our own, and what I understood, I thought that's what recreational meant.
Yeah.
That you could grow up to 6. I mean, that's how Colorado did it.
Right. As long as you're not distributing it.
Right. Exactly.
Right, that's what I mean by selling it.
Right.
It's the same thing in my mind as distributing it.
Right.
Like, let's say for argument's sake, you're growing it out of your backyard.
Right.
And it's in a controlled space in your backyard.
Correct.
And you're the only one lighting it up, or if you light it up for somebody else, they're staying on your property.
Right.
It's not like, and again, this is just like a fictional, I'm throwing this out there. It's not like you're growing it in your backyard, selling it to Robbie, and then Robbie's going down the street and doing it at his house.
It just means more access for people is what I'm looking at. And yes, states will be out of debt. There will be, no debt.
How do you figure?
Because, Colorado's out of debt because of this, because more people can go out and buy it. So it's not
you're saying it's like it's a boost to the economy.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So, I think of it as a positive. I have not read the bill, and I probably should.
Right.
To find out, because they do attach other things to this bill.
Like I said, if anybody knows anything more in depth about this than what we're talking about here, please let us know.
Call, yes.
727-441-3000 is the phone number to call.
Yes. This will help everybody. Go ahead.
One thing that this ain't the 1970s. You don't grow it in your backyard anymore.
No, I know
chronic hydroponic, baby.
No, I'm well aware of that. I was just throwing that out there. That's the last way I knew it was done. So,
I'm just teasing, bro.
I would expect nothing less. And now, rejoining us in this conversation is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Robbie the Shark.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend.
How do we feel about this?
How do I feel about this? I have great feelings about this. As you all know, I have PTSD. I'm bipolar with psychotic episodes. Imagine that. And I've gone through a bunch of different VA, FISA, pharmacy crap drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, 2018, the first psychiatrist there, I told him I'm smoking pot. He told me don't stop.
See?
It works.
Right.
They were studying it and doing deep studies on how to administer to veterans. But they never came up with a solution. They've been since 2018. So what is that, 6 years now, right?
Didn't they used to operate or do surgery back in the day with THC?
I mean, I thought I saw a program or
You're
something.
thinking whiskey.
No, I'm not thinking whiskey. And pregnancy? No, I'm not there.
But no, what I noticed, I mean, I was always buying off the street, or then I had neighbors when I lived in the Lumen area who had friends who got medical. And he would, get medical for himself. The guy, it was much medical because you don't need that much, which you can actually buy at the dispensary, because I do have my license now. And so you have extra, and you're not making any money. It cost him $30-$40. That's what he charged JoJo, $30-$40. Come over, smoke that with me, man. I didn't need none of them psycho meds the VA gave me at all. You got a little loose. I wouldn't say high like we did back in the 70s in Cheech and Chong, if you will. But you get a little groove on, and it's nice. Well, I finally get legal last August when I left the program in St. Augustine, the PTSD program, and made me cough really, really bad. It was take care of back pain for a little bit. And the second month, my second batch, and I got the edibles. I got them all. The vapors, crap. I got it all. I tried them all.
Real quick, Robbie, just to answer Cheryl's question. Interesting fact: it hasn't been shown that it was used in the past where THC has been used for surgery, but for anybody that's taking THC going into surgery, it's going to cause you to need an extra 50% more anesthesia to knock you out.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense to me.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're on a different plane. That makes sense. But I'm going to get quick to the point because we got a caller, I think, who's going to.
No. That was something else. Don't worry.
I know. I saw the lights flashing.
Yeah, Robbie, don't worry. If there was another caller, I would have told you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I
started this on a wing and a prayer. Hey, I was a call-in talk show person, and I was a tease coming up top 3 to beat the bookie with Robbie the Shark. I was. Yes, I will toot my own horn. People enjoyed it. Beep, beep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was fun. But no, what happened?
Well, then again, you tooting your own horn is leading to us sitting around your fire pit right now talking live on the radio.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Just like if we were sitting in your place, you'd probably be yapping more than I would.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do take the floor most of the time. I try to let go.
You say that like it's a bad thing, though. The way I look at it, if the conversation's good and the company's just as good, doesn't matter.
Nope, you're right.
I tell this, I know to get back to your story in a second, but I tell this to people all the time. I have friends back home in New York where Dawn, one of my best friends, we used to work together. And after she left, where we were working, she got another job. There's times where we would go out to dinner one night, and at the time I wasn't driving. So we'd go out to dinner one night, and she was nice enough to bring me back to my house. We'd be sitting we'd go to dinner, we'd hang out. She would drop me off at my house. We'd still be sitting in the driveway for another 2 hours in her car talking.
Yes.
That's how you know if the conversation and the company is good, you lose track of time.
Yeah, you do.
And that's kind of what we want to have here on It's All Groovy.
Yes.
And we've been doing since we started the show.
Yes.
Last summer. It's if the conversation's good and so is the company, you lose track of time.
Well, thank you. That is some serious accolades there, Matt.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Also, this is completely unrelated to what we're talking about, but I want to run it by you guys, both here in studio and on the phone line. What do you guys think of legacies? Like your own personal legacy?
I want to leave it.
My own personal legacy?
Yeah.
Your own.
Or do you guys believe in that kind of stuff? And how you want to be remembered?
My own personal legacy.
Yes.
And Paul Porter and another station I can't mention because he's no longer on there. They have the tape of it. With Robbie the Shark Paul Porter saying, what are the Lightning going to do tonight, Robbie? And I said, Paul, I'm going to tell you what. 2 things, actually. One, I said, lightning will strike, thunder will roar, be the thunder.
And that's what we run with now. But in this sense, what I mean is I was listening to something the other day, and they were asking somebody about what kind of legacy they had. Mm-hmm. And the guy responded, it was one of the pro wrestlers. He was being interviewed, and he goes, look, I've had a good career, but legacy's more for the writers and that stuff. What I want to be remembered for is, did I raise good human beings? He has 2 kids. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want that to be my legacy. Did I raise good human beings? That's my legacy more than anything I ever did in spandex.
I was just going to say I was being a narcissist, and when I had a chance to sit back and listen to you start to yak, yeah, Jesse and Jessica,
So,
a boy and a girl,
and
twins.
those are your
And
two
if any
kids.
dummy should ask, are they
Yes.
identical? Which you couldn't believe. Raising twins, everybody would say, are they identical? I'm like, well, he's swinging a bat and she ain't.
Well, no, I know. I have friends in high school. Same thing. Identical
bes-
twins, and
But I
yeah.
can't believe people would ask, it's a boy and a girl. How come they be identical?
Well, besides
It's not possible.
besides
It was kind of funny,
Yeah.
actually.
besides kids.
It's like, what do you? That's what I'm asking everybody at this fire pit right now, both here and on the phone. What do you want your legacy to be? Do you want it to be for this, or do you want it to be for something else?
To leave it a better place than what I found it.
All right.
That's what yes.
All right.
No, my legacy, I want
Yeah.
it to be, and part of it is for my son, Jesse James Ferenz, God rest his soul, who passed last year, 3 days after his 38th birthday.
Oh wow.
But we are having a little bit of problems with banking and all this other crap. But I found out there's Grigor out in the birds outside.
Yeah, I hear the birds.
I love that. I love that. There is government agencies that's going to help me jump start this a little faster. So it's taking a little longer than wanted. But we are coming up with Mama Dodger's project. I promise not to talk about it because I haven't succeeded where I wanted to be at
But
this
we will.
point. But it's in God's time, and we're working at it. The door will open when He wants it to open. So it's going to be there. We are still working on it. I want you to know that.
Keep marching forward. Yep.
So it's going to work, and that's one of the reasons I do this show. Besides that, I'm a narcissist. I love to hear myself.
You also want to try to be able to help other people too.
Yes.
Yes,
that's
I do.
the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
And
So-
hey, if you listen to the show, you laugh once, I'm happy. If you laugh
Yeah.
twice, I'm
Well,
thrilled.
but you
if you
know-
laugh
Well,
three
if it
times,
helps
I'm
you-
going home giggling
If
too.
it helps you
Yeah.
with anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
a success.
It's you can make somebody laugh. You teach somebody
Yes.
something they didn't know.
Right.
Like with
Or
like
like
a
the
pay
caller
it
that talked
forward.
about
Yeah.
his Jamaican trip.
yeah.
Jamaica's beautiful. It's a place I've never
Oh,
been.
I
Jamaica,
haven't either.
and I'm actually thinking of
been.
taking my vacation this year to Pittsburgh. I think I fell down the steps again.
I've never been to Pittsburgh.
Neither am
Jamaica
I.
was pretty.
I've been to Philly a couple of times. I was just there back in January.
Well,
But
I'm
I've
going to go
never
up
been
there
to
and watch the
Pittsburgh.
Rays beat the Pirates.
All right, that's okay. We went up there for Flyers Lightning back in January.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I was there for that.
And hey, all you Pittsburghers, Allegheny County Pirates fans, I will be there on the 23rd of June. Not sure if we're going to be next to, I'm going to go that way. I changed my mind already. We're just tossing coins. I was going to ask the people I'm taking where they want to sit, but we will be to the third base side of the, what do you call it? The radio announcers, the press booth. Why couldn't I
Yeah,
say
you're gonna be on the third baseline.
that? Right next to the press box.
All right.
Right
Same-
next to the
same
press box.
level? Okay.
Same level, right
Okay.
next to them. Yeah, I'd catch a fly ball if they can catch one.
I've heard PNC Park's one of the more gorgeous ballparks in all of
my
baseball.
God,
Yeah,
there is
that's what he
nothing
keeps
better.
saying.
And that's not because I'm from
It
there.
is gorgeous.
Wow.
There you go, Aaron. It is. You can even sit in the bad seats and it's still good. There is, and it's been rated #1 a few times over the years.
So I've heard.
It is Boston and Yankee Stadium, all that. No, this is very unique and designed specifically for the amount of crowd that we bring in Pittsburgh.
That's
So
when
they fill it
when the
up.
Pirates actually have a good team.
Well, they were sucking, but they're coming around a little bit. I understand. I'm following a little bit. I'm actually following them a little bit more than I'm in the Rays because the Rays are really
In the words
this
of
Boston weekend.
in
Really,
the words of Charles Barkley, the Rays are just terrible. They're
Terrible.
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 I
That's
miss
why the
that.
Pirates are going
I
to beat
miss
them on
that.
the 23rd.
Wait,
Hey.
wait, say that again, Aaron?
That's why the Pirates are going to beat them on the 23rd.
No.
You heard it here first. At
Okay,
8:40
there we go.
8:49 p.m. on May 23rd.
That's one
Aaron
of the
says
reasons
it.
we're going to 23rd. She already has tickets.
Yeah.
And by the way, if anybody's missed anything on tonight's show or any other show Robbie has done, we podcast everything. So go to either tantalknetwork.com and click on Robbie's show, or go to internetradiopros.com and you can find every show that Robbie has ever done. So if you missed anything from tonight or any of Robbie's shows ever in the time that we've done It's All Groovy, there you go.
Yep.
And I believe this is 27th episode, and this would be episode
28
8 of season 2.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Time
succeeded.
flies when you have fun.
Exactly. I say that all the time. And you can't miss if you've got good material.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You don't even have to have material. We just enjoy each other's.
That's what you got us for.
Yep, exactly.
I don't blush too often, Matt, but you know what?
You're
I want you
welcome.
to know I don't float that side of the railroad tracks.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
I got to tease around, man. Let's make
All
fun.
right. So
You
we've
know.
officially been doing this. The first date of Robbie's show that we have here was, it looks like, you could. Bingo. Second one. November 29th. November 29th, 2023 was the first time we ever did an It's All Groovy.
And we got the show funded November 3rd.
Yep.
I remember distinctly. Yes, I
Yep.
do. And it's been a wild ride. I even left the show one night at, I think, at 34-minute mark. I had a panic attack.
Yep.
And that is why I do take my medication breaks.
Yep.
420. Yes, and that is
And
what I do.
I didn't meet you until February.
Yeah, on Valentine's Day.
Was Valentine's Day the first day?
Here with 2 chicks I wasn't
Yeah,
taking
it was me and
home. There was
Crystal.
not a snowball's chance in hell. But we had a great time.
Well, hey. Stop putting yourself down, Robbie.
No. That was one of the best Valentine's days I've ever had.
I will say this much. In that regard, you are the Ric Flair of radio. You had 2 chicks at once in the studio when you were doing a show. I was happy to the Robert walking and go.
Les White is doing an O'Biden right now. Did anybody see that, by the way, before I
What?
forget? You brought that to mind.
What?
It cracked me up. He was talking to Moorhead, and I was all prepared thinking I'm going to talk about this on Thursday night, which that is another issue that Grigor's head is exploding right now. He wants to talk about it. But he went to another group that in Atlanta going to the blacks, and these were, I think it was a religious group too, Baptist church or whatever, and they're all lined up, and O'Biden, as I call him O'Biden because Biden, Obama, he's run by Obama. But anyways, Biden got his back to the camera, and I kid you not, I can't find it on YouTube again, but I recorded it off my TV because I saved it on DVR. You hear
What?
and during the second one, all the folks that he was going to give a speech to start cracking up.
There you go.
And now wait, Biden turns around, and most anybody knows, because I don't care. Once you're over 30, you know what a short is.
Yep.
And the look
Yeah.
in his eyes was like, whoop, yep.
Right.
And then he started to almost laugh, and he was waddling off the stage, and then the screen goes blank. It was I cracked up for
There
hours.
it is.
So for anybody that is just tuning into this show tonight, this is what happens on It's All Groovy. We show up at the fire pit here at the WTAN studios, aka Robbie's backyard, and we talk about whatever we feel like talking about, and we keep this a family-friendly radio show.
Yes.
What does that say that he added to the opening? Listen at your own risk, I think
Yep.
he says.
Yeah, it's so if you listen to commercials here on the show, here on the station, whenever we play a commercial for this show, Robbie does his thing promoting the show, and at the end, Ed, our station manager, goes, "It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursday nights from 8 to 9. Listen at your own risk."
I love that. Yeah,
And that's why we say listen at your own risk, because you never know what you're going to talk about
You
or
never
hear
know.
here on the show.
No, never know where this
But
is
it
going to go.
also shows, though, and I give you all the credit in the world for this, Robbie.
Oh.
That shows how much you had come along since we started doing this
Yes.
back in November of last year.
Well, amen. Thank you. And I
So-
just want to say, life's a box of
Chocolates,
chocolates.
you never know what you're gonna get. But that also shows how much you've changed as a person and a talk show host. Because the first time we did this together, it was you and me. I did about 75% of the talking on the
Yeah,
show
you did.
because you were nervous as all get up for
I
this.
was scared to death. I mean, I had a 10-minute part when I had a good show with Paul for a while going there.
Yeah.
But never had less or than 2 minutes. And well, I think a couple times I had more than 10 minutes.
But you never had to do something like this.
No, I mean, that's already, I know what I'm picking.
Yeah.
And now it's just bantering back and forth over the phone. I don't see you.
Yeah.
I'm not in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about the next 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Bam, I talk my crap. He hangs up on me like when he first met me. You know that story.
Yes,
when I
we
said
do.
the Rays are going to the World Series, he said, "How long you been there?" I said, 2 months. He said, "You've been in sun too long." And I'm like, but we heard that story before. That's a true story. That and just
Yeah.
how I really started to get involved with radio, other than my mother. Because Jimbo would make me go to bed during the Pirate games.
Which is the same thing with me. It's my parents most kids, when they get into like music, it's whatever their parents were into.
Yes.
And then they start developing their own stuff. So I grew up with whatever my parents had on in the car, which was usually either sports talk, because my dad was a big sports fan, or one of the local music stations in New York, which would play like the Beatles, Billy Joel, the Monkees, Elvis. So I grew up with all that stuff, which is why we kind of came up with playing Groove Me by King Floyd to close the show every week. So I grew up with that stuff, and one of the stations that we had on the car a lot was a 10-minute drive from my parents' house. The station, the studio is still physically there. They've changed formats over the years, but the studio is still there.
Really?
So when I got out of college, I took a chance at it. I applied for the internship with the station and ended up working with their station and their sister station for 10 years before I moved down here.
Wow.
See, my mom bought me a record player, gave me a record,
Yeah.
believe it or not, and it was Tie a Yellow Ribbon around the
tree.
old oak tree.
Tony Orlando.
Yep.
Now, Greg, I remember, I don't know if you do remember, but our parents who were in 50s and doo-wop, and actually when I became a teenager and was dating, we used to go doo-wop dancing with them. But no, they were hippie freaks, man. They listened to the
were.
60s music.
We're talking
Vietnam.
like, well, are we talking, I know this is different level of hippie freaks to steal your term, but are we talking like Deadhead level hippie freaks or completely different?
No, my mother and father never went for the Deadhead, although I did go to a Deadhead. That's a boy. We don't have enough time to talk about the
Yeah.
Deadhead
I know.
concert I went
No,
to.
I've heard a ton of stories.
I was active duty when that happened.
And I've heard
What a wild trip.
I've heard stories about what a Grateful Dead concert was like because my mom and my two uncles on mom's side of the family are all Deadheads.
Only thing you see
I love
better
being
is
Deadhead.
Leonard Skinner.
Love
I
Leonard Skinner.
like Skinner, but I've never been to a Skinner concert.
No.
I've heard stories.
Oh,
Though.
Deadhead concert is just, you will not believe what you see. It's so wild.
Yep.
And
I-
you do feel free, but Leonard Skinner, these hillbillies loving you, handing you a beer, passing you a doobie.
Yep.
It's totally groovy. And they rock, of course. I mean, really great music. I consider it on a level of Bach and Beethoven with Zeppelin. That's Bach and Beethoven. Come
See,
on.
I went to Lollapalooza.
And that's saying something.
I went to
And that is.
Lollapalooza, which was Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. That was different. That was a lot of fun. But no, getting back as far as bedtime stories or listening to records and stuff, I used to get up and my bedtime story was Maxwell Hammer or something. Remember that? Maxwell Hammer. It's in that Beatles or something.
Maxwell Hammer.
I was a little later than that.
It was.
I was a little later than that. I was listening to Ted Nugent,
Okay.
Van Halen, Ozzy Osbourne.
Of course.
Well, wait a minute. Was this Ozzy in his Black Sabbath days or Ozzy or like the start of like Ozzy now?
Well, I had the Black Sabbath albums, but
Okay.
I mean, you know, I was a young teenager when Ozzy was doing his solo career and
All
Crazy
right.
Train and all that.
Guess what time it is? It's already time to go.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's that. Hey, like I say, when you have good stuff to talk about, this is what
Absolutely.
happens.
Do I really got to leave the studio?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
We gotta go
man.
back.
Good night, Florida.
Good
Hey.
night.
I love you in Pittsburgh. We got Chicago listening. We got North
Yes.
Kakalaki, North Dakota, and even Alaska listeners.
All right.
Peace.
It's all groovy.
mouth now, and I want you to be my spouse.